super excited to present to you some 19R2 features that we found were very interesting for both your clients and your development. So let's dig right in. So the first major topic I'd like to introduce is 4D for mobile. Now, this may be a new concept, but every time I mention 4D for iOS, I inevitably get the question, what about Android? Well, now with 19R2, we have it. And what we're calling 4D for mobile. So 4D for mobile is 4D for iOS and 4D for Android. And I'll talk a little bit more right now about what 4D for Android is exactly. So 4D for Android is available in v19R2, and it is our no-code development platform for Android apps. Now, the same mobile project that you made for 4D for iOS can now be used to make a native Android app. That means for those of you that are already using 4D for iOS, you get an Android app for free by just clicking through the application. And we offer the same UX and UX design on both platforms, and the team did pay close attention to what Android applications look like and what your iOS applications need to look like. So we took care of that for you. And in this feature release, 4D for Android comes with the most important features: native app generation, plenty of templates and icons, multi-criteria search, formatters, custom data formatters, authentication, and offline support. And you can expect more advances in the upcoming releases. So stay tuned. I'll be presenting them in a webinar just like this. And as you know, you can create your own data formatters in 4D for mobile, 4D for iOS, and 4D for Android to convert strings, Booleans, integers into images in your generated app. And with 4D v19R2, you can take full advantage of these formatters in both iOS and Android and make your applications look good in both light and dark mode. And there are 3 different options available for you to make these formatters. You can swap the colors black to white. You can use a different image depending on the active mode of your application, or you can mix the 2 from above. And here's a quick demo of how that looks. Here is an application in light mode, you see, and then swapping to dark mode, the application automatically changed both the color and the image. Pretty cool, huh? And all of that is done without having to learn Swift or Kotlin. So now, up until now, when you created a mobile project, the default 4D icon was used in the general panel. And if you updated this logo to make a new icon for your application, 4D for mobile took the most dominant colors in the logo, did a sampling of the logo, took the most dominant colors, and defined the your app's color scheme to navigation bars and buttons to use that color. Now, sometimes, as we saw this sounds like a great idea, right? But sometimes we saw some issues, and we actually had some issues with the deployed application that used a heavily beige color scheme, and then it just didn't look right in the application. It was white on beige, and it just wasn't looking great. And we had to change the code in Swift, and that wasn't a good thing. So what the team did, the team took that feature request from the developer, and now you're able to pick the color scheme of your choice independently of the icon logo dominant color. So, so pretty cool. So a new feature that was brought, a feature request that came from the community to make your applications better, And since 4D v19, we have had the offline action features, where users' actions are queued automatically where users' actions that are done in the application, and the application is not connected to the 4D server, those actions are queued and automatically processed once they reconnect to the 4D server. And now with 4D v19 R2, we provide a way for users to process and resubmit these pending tasks that may have failed for whatever reason. And you can now have predefined errors that explain why a task was rejected that you can define yourself. Now you can define the errors that explain why the task was rejected. And this demo shows these functions and actions of how a user can validate and resend the data to the server. So here we have the application. The task was rejected. We click into it. And actually it tells you why it was rejected, and it's going to be validated now. And the application and the user actually validates the task and resends it to the server. And for some time now, several predefined actions have been available in the mobile app in 40 for mobile in the actions section, such as adding, editing, deleting, and even sharing. And with 40 v19 R2, a new wasn't available that you can create. And that is sorting actions to sort local app data. And this is a predefined feature in the 40 for iOS application builder for the moment. And here is a demo to illustrate the functionality. So here we have weather. We have a few different places. We look and then we get to sort it based on various sorting criteria, either weather or city name, depending on what you need in your application. And all done without learning Swift. Now, these are some very interesting features that allow you to easily make your enterprise applications. So if you have a project idea, please call your account representative and we can discuss it further. We are currently working with many developers on their project ideas and how to create them as easily as possible from within the 40 for mobile design paradigm. Also, 40 for mobile is an active development project inside 4D, and we are adding features that the team that you need in your applications and prioritizing them accordingly in order for you to make your application development a breeze. So if you have an idea, please call us and we are willing to talk about it. So now on to the new developer features that are in 40 v19 R2. So with the introduction of classes, storing data in objects, especially blob data, becomes more and more necessary. And for this reason, 4D v19 R2 supports the encapsulation of blobs in objects. And beyond the storage aspect, your memory usage and performance are greatly improved because the blob in this sense is actually a reference type. So you can pass it into a method, for example, and you're passing it by reference by definition, by construct. And please note the fact that we have a blob type does not deprecate the standard blob that we all know and love. And each has its pros and cons. So let me repeat that. Blob is not deprecated. This is just a feature at additional. So, and for a full discussion of the difference between these two and what are the pros and cons of using each type, I invite you to review the documentation at developer.40.com. That's how I learned all about it. And it's a great discussion of when and why you would use a blob object as opposed to a standard blob type. So in project mode, you can easily track your changes with Git. But often you don't want to track all the files of your 4D project in your Git repository. And with 40 v19 R2, 40 provides the ability to find what not to track in a new project by automatically adding a default .gitignore file in the project folder. And this is done by checking right there. This is done by checking the create.getIgnore file in the 4D preferences. And to the right, you'll see the default getIgnore file. You'll see that the data folder is excluded because it may be better to back it up with 4D, and you don't necessarily like to, it's not good necessarily to store binary data in your version control system, large binary data. The derived data folder is a working folder, and 4D rebuilds this automatically when needed, so no need to store it there. The library folders in the same way. The developer users and preference, and we decided not to exclude the trash by default, but if you would like to exclude it, you just need to remove the pound sign to uncomment that line of code. So that's that. So, and with 4D v19 R2 on Mac, 4D makes distributing your built components a lot easier. 4D automatically signs built components using the certificates defined by a user or an ad hoc signature if no certificate is specified. And this will allow component developers to distribute signed components so other developers don't have to sign them before using them. So simplify everybody's life. And with 4D v19 R2, you can now access the details of a 4D class function without searching for it on the documentation site. In the code editor in 19R2, simply press the F1 key and then click the Go To definition item in the contextual menu, and the code editor will open the corresponding online documentation page in the browser like this. Go to definition, and it brings up the average member function of a collection. So next is the 4D Write Pro, the new features in 4D Write Pro. And then starting with v19 R2, both inline and anchored images in 4D Write Pro documents benefit from 7 new formatting types, thanks to the new WK image display mode attribute. That's scaled to fit, truncated, truncated centered, proportional, proportional centered, replicated, and replicated centered. And these can be a very big help and should help you to get your picture look right in 4D Write Pro. And on the blog, there's a great discussion about when some of them are used, and I invite you to have a look at the blog to learn a little bit more about this. And I think if you are working with images, you probably know a little bit, you know how difficult it can be. So look for the examples in the blog here. And in 19R2, up until 19R2, you had to set up to 6 attributes to correctly set a background image in 4D Write Pro document. Now, thanks to the work from the team, we made this a lot easier, and that's done with the WK background display mode. And here you have and here's this, and see the examples below. These are actually equivalent commands. So feel free to have a play around with this, and you can greatly simplify your attribute setting code in your 4D Write Pro document with this command. Next, we're going to go into when we talk about 4D Write Pro, we got to talk about its cousin, 4D View Pro. So 4D19 R2 comes with a new version of Spread.js 14.1 that introduces many features, and most notably pivot tables. So if your end users include sales or marketing staff, this feature is going to be a relief as it allows them to easily summarize and analyze data directly from the 4D View Pro window. So like in this demo where I create a nice pivot table from some complicated, not really, data. So here we have our data. I'm going to select it all. Here, my insert, I have a pivot table, which we did not have until this release. And your pivot table, using the pivot table looks and feels really similar to Excel, if you've done this in Excel before. And you can move things around from rows to columns. You can add unit, you can do sums, you can do pretty much whatever and you can reorder as needed. So all of it's done on the fly. So it's super cool. And thanks to the new version of Spread.js, and there are many other features thanks to thanks to Spread.js version 14.1. There's a lot more charting features and things like that. So really have a look. If you're using 4D Pro, I invite you to have a look at the new features inside the ribbon bar and have a play. And once the person is done with their analysis, okay, they can say, of course, save off their sheet in a variety of formats: PDF, Excel, 4D Pro, and now in version 19 R2, also CSV. And v19 R2 allows you to import and export CSV files. So, and this is a format that, as you know, is a common data exchange format supported by many applications. So for example, you have some data that you need to import. It's given to you in a CSV file. You can now super easily, with a programmatically or through the application, import it using the 40VP import document command. And as we all know, files come in all shapes and sizes, and importing them can be a hassle sometimes. And now the 40 import document, you can now set the column and row delimiters to be whatever you need them to be. So you can import your non-standard delimited files with ease. So some people like the bar, some people like 2 commas, whatever the way you need to do it, you can now do it easily in 4D. So super cool. Now, if you want to create, name, hide, or remove a worksheet, or simply know which worksheet the user is on, v19 R2 lets you do this by managing your worksheets programmatically in your 4D Pro documents. And there are 5 new commands to help you work with worksheet. We have the VP sheet count, which is setting the number of sheets that you need in your 4D Pro area. VP add sheet count, or VP add sheet, excuse me, and that's inserting a specific worksheet's name, a specific worksheet with a specific name in a specific location. VP set sheet name, setting a name to a meaningful name. Set current sheet, you can change the selected worksheet, what shows up when the user opens up a 4D Pro document, and VP set sheet options. So you can do things like hiding a sheet if it's only being used for calculations purposes. And with 40 v19 R2, managing page breaks from the user interface is possible thanks to new entries in the context menu, insert page break and remove page break, as well as showing and hiding print lines in the ribbon or via the new command VP show print lines and get print lines, get and set print lines. And here is a quick demo of how that looks, so you can get your page breaks set up correctly for easier formatting and easier printing of these documents. In there, and I have the insert page break, and from the view command, I can either hide or show the print lines as needed. And I can also remove the page break. So super simple. Directly from the ribbon bar. So I think that concludes the technical portion of the presentation. If you like what you're seeing here, I invite you to visit the blog. Everything I learned about these new features starts at the blog, doesn't end there, and then I go start to play with it myself so I can learn and I can talk about it with you guys here. So they're great features. It's a great place to grab information, and you can continue on the discussion. You can continue and then discuss these features with the developers and the product owners and in the discussion, the discuss.40.com. Oh. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Keynote. Oh yeah, I didn't want to take you to that. Okay, yeah. So sorry, cat wants in. And then, as you know, the world tour is going on. And if you're here and you're not registered for the training, what are you waiting for? And and here's how you do it. So go to the 40 world. I'm just oh shoot. You go to the 40 world tour page. You scroll down. Oh, and we even have something new. Now we have the training session descriptions online, so you can now review what is going to be discussed in the training sessions themselves. And we have 6 training sessions. 5 of them are 1 hour, and 1 of them is 90 minutes, and that's the modern client server development, application development. And here are the dates for the training sessions, for the live training sessions. You see, so we have the dates. So from worldtour.40.com, we have the training sessions. And if you do, and when you do decide to register, you have to complete this registration form, name, first name, etc. The 40 world, and you click on the 40 World Tour live training only because the free session is sadly over. You click register for this event, and your account manager will reach out to you to officially register you for the event. So that's that. Here we go. And then each date, as you saw that there are 4 proposed times that could work with pretty much anybody here for every single topic. And next week we should have you'll have access to a portal to be able to sign up for your session that you would like to take part in. So which sessions you'd like to be in. So check your emails for that, and we look forward to see you guys all signing up for your World Tour training. Thank you very much from Adam and myself, and we'll see you all real soon in the World Tour trainings. I'm also looking forward to attending those myself. So, thank you.